Welcome to the Ivy League live stream. We're going to be talking about NCAA football. We have Oregon State and the San Jose Spartans playing right now. I was trying to get this video done earlier, but there was a lot I've been trying to do some research on and really wasn't too worried about week one, but things kind of came quick. So let me just get a little bit of this information out there for you guys. Again, these are my thoughts. Bet responsibly. Just want to make sure we had sound. Bet responsibly. I would caution, if you got to play these games, go ahead. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm going to cover San Jose State, Oregon State. We're going to mostly get into LSU and Florida State, Clemson, and Duke Monday night. LSU, Florida State's going to be 7:30 Eastern Time. I had a quick couple stats here. Oregon State's already up 7-0 at the end of the quarter. I know a lot of people were thinking this game was going to go over. It's the first game of the year, guys. This goes with all of them, okay? So far this year, and I am lucky to be 3-0. Notre Dame, James Madison, yesterday Nebraska, 3-0. Not 3-1 or 2-1 or 3-1, because I was still going to play Nebraska no matter what. I laid off of the Louisiana Tech FIU game. Let's talk about that game. So, really, there's nothing to talk about. How is Louisiana Tech that bad? Or is FIU, just starting to be somewhat, at least they're better than what they were in the past. I mean, they would just get mollywopped over anyone. It didn't matter who it was. So, see where that goes, right? But Louisiana Tech just got spanked again by SMU. I'm pretty sure they played yesterday. A lot of good games, kinda. I feel like this week one, you could look at it from both ways. It's a way to get some of these bigger schools and bigger names to come in and start getting their first game not being a conference game. And I kind of like that, but I also kind of don't. You're really excited for college football, and you really want to see them. You really want to see some good games on the board. Brandon Walker tweeted out earlier, commenting about that. And I agree with him 100%. I really do. It was a weak card. The only game that was worth watching was Minnesota and Wisconsin, and maybe just a couple others. Well, we do have LSU and Florida State tonight, which is going to be really good. But there wasn't that many great matchups. There really wasn't. It was just these bigger schools on these younger schools. You okay? You stuck? It's my little girl. So let's get into it, guys. Again, these are my thoughts. I'm not playing these games. I'm on the year right now, 3-0. I'm going to keep that into next week. I'm going to use what I saw this week, go over some more data, and I'm going to take that in the next week. So if you'd like to know my thoughts, I'm coming up with a weekly newsletter. You can get my picks if you'd like to get them. I've been doing this since 2017, 2016, before all these states started legalizing sports betting, right? It's been legalized in my state for quite some time now. So when you want to talk to somebody or hear some thoughts about, because you guys got to understand, there's more than just line movement and this and that. To be a seasoned vet, it really takes putting in the work. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this, and you can be profitable at it. Every single year, I have been able to use this money, whether it's for Christmas, whatever, right? Whatever your goal is, first you need to have a goal. You need to manage your risk, right? You need to manage your money. You need to watch the games, number one. Number two, right? Along money management and watching the games, right? Knowing what the hell's going on. So, take it from me that when you see a lot, you're going to start seeing a lot more people and maybe younger people out there, voicing their opinions. That's cool. That's fine. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm this and I'm that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't paid for anything, but I also have put in the work. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. I did pay for one person's, and that's the last time because it was awful. Only to see where their thoughts were on some of the games that I was kind of looking, because I knew kind of their style, and I knew where they kind of stayed, what area they stayed in, and kind of getting their thought process stuff. But you can't. You're going to hear everybody else's thoughts, and you got to just worry about your own. All right, there's a lot, that I could sit here and go through, but I'm not going to go through it, You start seeing changes throughout these years. Again, I've been doing this for a while, and I see the changes. I just commented just a little bit ago with Northwestern's line dropping with Rutgers, and I said they're dropping the line because all these dumbasses are going to say, "Oh my God, the line's dropping," and go put. They want it. They're just trying to put them on Northwestern. All right. Again, it's the first year. You don't know how. You can have an idea, but you don't know how well or how bad a team is going to jive, whether they even have starters coming back or they have a whole new team. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is why you play the game. So you can do all that you can do, but you can't avoid injuries. The stupid stuff that happens. And guess what? This is why I love college football. I'm going to tell you right now, me personally, I love college football more than I do the NFL. I don't even care about the NFL. I live for college football and college basketball. More importantly, college football. There's nothing better than that. Nothing better than college football. And that's my personal opinion. So let's get into it real quick. Oregon State's already up 7-0. Let me jump back real quick. Let's just talk about Northwestern and Rutgers real quick, because Northwestern's numbers were awful. They were like 0 and X amount on third down attempts. It was really pathetic. And again, you guys will have to forgive me because I'm just wanted to get some of these thoughts out there before, because I got to do a couple of things. I had to run to the pet store before they close and stuff. But I mean, Northwestern's going to have to figure something out. They were able to get on the board. They were able to get on the board. Let me go ahead and get this up. So like the first half numbers were insane. Third down conversions, they obviously changed it up, kinda, right? They were third down conversions for Northwestern, 5 for 15. Rutgers 8 for 18. Fourth down conversions, 1 for 3 for Northwestern, 3 for 3. Rutgers, right? Total yards, 201. Northwestern, 285 for Rutgers. Rushing yards, right? Listen to this. 12 yards for Northwestern and 122 for Rutgers. So passing 189 for Northwestern. That's obviously because they're falling from behind and had to try to do something. Low scoring game, 7-24. Rutgers pulled out the win there. Let's see. So you had 2 rushing touchdowns from Rutgers. One passing touchdown from Northwestern and 1 passing touchdown from Rutgers. 2 fumbles from Northwestern, 1 for 1 on the Rutgers side. So anyway, that was that game. I literally tweeted on Unbiased Ev's picks. I said the line's dropping for North. I said I'm not doubting the fact that the line was dropping on Rutgers and Northwestern because they're trying to get people to take Northwestern. Right? They're trying to get people to take Northwestern. So anyway, let me get into this. I'm sorry. Again, this is my first live stream, so bear with me. If you could hit that like button, subscribe, share this with a friend. I'm going to continue to do this throughout the week. We're going to go we'll have the MAC division coming up. That's not for quite a few more weeks before we get that Wednesday, Thursday. We get midweek actions. Midweek action, right? And get games during the week. So it's been a hell of a week one. I'm really happy to have college football back. Colorado pulling off the upset with TCU. Now, unfortunately, my book did not offer a money line for Colorado because that would have been worth playing. Even just putting some pizza money on that, honestly, guys, if you played TCU, why would you play TCU? I'm really curious. Did you not have that much faith in Colorado? All right, things are getting a little crazy here where I'm at. The cat wants to be fenced off. So let's get into it. Oregon State Spartans. I'm going to be honest. So I have a stat here with the Spartans. 5-1 at the spread versus ranked teams. Oregon State seems to be starting out slow. San Jose is not a pushover. They just played Southern Cal. So they have a game under their belt. Think about that. All right. San Jose State has a game under their belt. Let's see how this new team with Oregon State comes in. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the quarterback who came from Clemson's name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. We'll see what happens. I feel like Oregon State's been putting on a team the past few years, guys, and they put on. You know, they put on. They've had some really fun games in the past to watch. So we'll see where they go throughout the season. I'm going to use all of these, everything that happens, and when I have my subscribers, you guys are going to get some of the info that I use and some of the ways that I go about sports betting. I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to give that to you guys. If you guys would like to work with me, my email is in the description. So we're going to get into it right now. Let's go to LSU, FSU. Let me get my stuff up here for you guys. All right. So this game is going to be close. I don't even need to look at any stats. I don't need to look at any of that. I still feel like they both have something to prove, right? Florida has home field advantage. I'm almost positive they have home field advantage, right? They're not at a neutral site, correct? I want to make sure I'm right. It's in Orlando. Might be a neutral site. I don't know. That's more so be Sunday night, Orlando, Florida. Yeah, it's so. All right, Florida State's at home. So Florida State has home field advantage. So I was looking through the players and everything. I'm going to tell you right now, Florida State's got some big bodies. Bigger bodies than Louisiana State has. Running back, we can go into it real quick. Let's look at the running back for Florida State right here. All right, let's look at Trey Benson. Let's look at Trey Benson. 6'10", 223 pounds. Let's look at LSU's running back. I know LSU has someone sitting out. I have to go back over it. All right. Look at the difference. 5'9", 203 pounds. 5'9", 203 pounds versus a 6'10", 223 pound running back. All right. I'm just noticing it across the board how they're going about. And I know the coach's name just because I'm on here on the live. I'm being Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell's put up a big body team, kind of like a BYU, right? Kind of like a BYU squad. They're just big bodies everywhere, from the quarterback to the running backs, just to everyone, right? The difference in the safeties, it just, now the linemen are going to be about the same, but from your safeties to your running backs, wide receivers. So he's trying to put that dominance, it feels like. He's trying to get these people to dominance. So how does that affect them going into, like, the fourth quarter as this game goes on and they're wrestling? It's a lot harder for, somebody that's got a lot more mass and a lot more size with their endurance to keep up, more so than someone else that's, in that, just a little bit, weighs a little less and stuff like that. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So this is going to be a fun match. Obviously Florida State has home field advantage. If I'm gonna have to make a pick on this, I'm gonna have to say, gosh, it's gonna be a close game. LSU's gonna want to have to come back. Let me give you guys my stats first. Again, this is my first time doing this, so Florida State was the dog last year, and as we saw, Florida State did dominate that whole game. This is the first game of the year, right? You have some people that have left, came back for Louisiana. Majority of this team is returning their starters, all right? So, for instance, no, that's not it. I just want to make sure I go back to all my stuff. Oh, that's Duke. Let's see here. It's not going to give it to me. That's all good. If I'm going to have to make a play on this, hold on. Yeah, it's not going to give it to me. They're going to make it difficult. So, I'm going to go over these stats real quick for you guys on LSU. So we're going to go head to head. So right now, as of now, let me refresh it. LSU is favored by 1.5. All right. The over and under is 56.5. If I had to take one side, I'm going to say right now, I might 56. I might have to take the under on this, guys. I might have to take the under. All right. Let's see here. I mean, this is a tough game, guys. This is a tough game. This is why I have no money out on this. I'm not playing these games. All right, my season's 3-0. I'm starting off good. Like, I pick my spots, right? I don't play just to play. So, let's go to last year's rushing yards, right? LSU at 139 rushing yards versus 132 from FSU. Pass attempts, 36 to a 33. Everything is so close. Pass completion completion percentage, 42.22 versus Florida State's 60.6. Call it 61%. All right, a little better on LSU side. Passing yards, Florida State comes in at 260 versus 209 LSU. Total yards, 348 for LSU and 392 total yards for FSU. So they were able to take advantage of LSU's defense. LSU did turn the ball over twice. Florida State once. Let's go through a couple stats right here at the spread stats. So the total has gone over 7 of Louisiana State's last 8 games. Louisiana State is 10-3 straight up in their last 13 games. 11-2 straight up in the last 13 games against an opponent in the ACC. Louisiana State 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games played in September. The total has gone over 11 of Louisiana State's 14 games played in week 1. I don't know what you guys think about that one. The total has gone over in 11 of Louisiana State's last 14 games played in week 1. 4-2 at the spread in their last 6 games played on a Sunday. All right. So one of those obviously being Florida State last year. Let's go to Florida State. Let's see here. I'm going to get these streams a lot better, guys. I'm going to have everything written out and everything ready to go. Honestly, it's so hard to pick. Like, I would like to say, hey, I'd much rather see this or that. Because I expect this game to start off slow. I expect them both to not show much of anything. Right? I expect them, I got to give the coaching to LSU. Does that Power 5 SEC conference bring in, better, smarter players? Maybe. But, this is why you play the game. I'm not taking anything away from Florida State. In fact, I'm going to tell you my thoughts, and it would not surprise me, but I'm going to get into it right now. Let's go to FSU real quick. 14-6 straight up in their last 21 games played in week 1. 14-6 straight up in their last 20 games played in week 1. The total has gone under in Florida State's last 6 games played in September. Florida State is 12-5 straight up in their last 17 games against an opponent from the Southeastern Conference. Florida State is 6-0 straight up in their last 6 games. The total has gone over 5 of Florida State's last 7 games, and they are 11-5 at the spread in their last 16 games. 11-5 in their last 16 games. I'm going to just say it off the top of my head. If you guys watch, I would watch the line, and if you start seeing like late line movement, you got to check obviously for injuries and such. I still think this may be Brian Kelly's kryptonite, right? Is this starting to be Brian Kelly's kryptonite? Going to go with the underdog again here. All right, I'm going to go with the underdog again here. Home field advantage. It's week 1. As much as I want to take LSU, I feel like FSU covers the spread, and it would not surprise me if this game went under. I feel like what LSU needs to do is possibly hand it off a little more, short passes, mix it up, try and keep the running back or keep their quarterback, keep Jaden Daniels, um, Jaden Daniels out of it, out of trouble. It's early in the season. Try to keep him out of trouble as much as they can. He can pick his spots when he runs. I'm gonna say Florida State, right? I'm gonna say Florida State. Let's look to see where that line actually went to, guys. Let's look at the line. Actually, is something I do want to do. I want to see the history of the line. So this actually came out. Spread -1. For who, though? 56.5. So this over and under went lower, went higher, and then is back down lower. I mean, maybe this game goes over because everyone might think that they're going to play conservative football, but I'm just going to go. I'm not taking it. Again, my thoughts are I would not be surprised if this game goes under, being the fact that it's the first game of the year. I don't know. We don't know their game plan, right? Do they take it slow in the first half and then come out running the second half and wait for things to kind of happen and see where the ball, if there's interceptions, right? Where are they, and what's been going on for them to determine what type of plays they want to use? Like, do they want to hold some plays for later in the year? It's a long season. It's really not it's not a long season because college football is here and gone before you can even blink. But so that's why you got to embrace. And if you could, guys, like, share, and subscribe. I promise these videos are going to be a hell of a lot better than what they are right now. So I greatly appreciate you. It's not telling me here who LSU, Florida State, Seminole, Sunday, match. It's not telling me. I take it Florida State came out favored. They favored Florida State. Florida State came all the way down to 2.5, it looks like, and then it's now at, it went to 1.5 and then to 2 and then 1.5 again. So I may have two different things going on here, but it looks like, is the line moving again? It's 1.5 here. Let's see real quick. See if it changed here. It still says 2. So it feels like it's going towards Florida State. Right? So this line's just fluctuating. Now I'm kind of like, that's how I would determine this. Again, I'm not playing it. It's week 1. I honestly don't know. This is insane. I honestly don't know, guys. I'm going to, I know I just said Florida State with that. I'm going to take LSU. That's my final answer. LSU, I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take LSU. I don't know. That's it. We're flipping a coin. What do you guys think? Can you guys comment? What do you guys think? What do you guys have to add to this? Because I'm here like, you know what I mean? This is my first time doing this for sports. I trade stocks. I trade equities for a living. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm telling you guys, look at the defensive end, right? Let's look at the defensive end. 6'5", 230 pounds. 6'5", 230 pounds. Let's go look at LSU's defensive end. 6'6", 280. So he is bigger. All right, he is bigger there. But you guys are going to notice a trend here, though. Right? You're going to notice a trend. These quarterbacks are both about the same. This is why the line is tight. This is honestly, you could just flip a coin. Honestly. I just feel like Florida State might not be getting the thing that Florida State might not be getting the respect that they deserve. Like that's how they may start to feel, and they may feel like they have something to prove, right? LSU, on the other hand, Chip Kelly may want to start out with a win. Not that he may want to. He wants to start out with a win, but he wants that game back. I feel like Brian Kelly wants that game back. Right? He wants that game back. Um, 6'7", 230 pounds. All right. 6'7", 230 pounds. Now I go to the defensive side. 6'2", 215. 6'7", 237 pounds. Do you see the difference? Just, you know what I mean? There's one, right? And I can just go on and on. If I were you guys, I would start doing this. Go back and look at the size. Go look at the sizing, and up at who they're up against. You know what I mean? You gotta dive in and really look to see what's going on. You're gonna notice certain things that happen. Right? Like, what type of team is he building here at Florida State? He's trying to build some big boys. What I would call a BYU, big body school, right? He's just trying to dominate. But how long before they get wore out, right? What's their endurance like, So it's a safety, 6'2", 139, 193. So I think it's going to be a good game no matter what, guys. And this game could come down to just, if there's no injuries and nothing happens, who makes the right decisions? Who doesn't fumble the ball? Who doesn't try to force throws? Right? I'm rooting. I'm rooting for Chip Kelly or Brian Kelly. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for Brian Kelly. I'd like to see LSU win. Man, I want to come on here and tell you guys that I have a pick for you, but I mean, I got to flip a coin. I'm just going to say, if the line's moving on me, this is what I'm trying to do is give you guys what would be the spread that I would take. It feels like this line's still moving around, right? It feels like it's still moving around. So I'm just oh Christ. So again, if they start swinging this line an hour, 2 hours into this game, a half hour before this game, I'm just gonna go LSU and see if Brian Kelly can not have this Florida State team be their kryptonite. That's who I'm gonna go with. Now we're gonna go into Duke and Clemson. Duke and Clemson is going to be a good one. Clemson has 9 starters coming back to start the year. Let me see. I have it up here, guys. I have two different things going on. 19 starters coming back for Duke. 19 starters coming back for Duke. There's a lot of hype with Clemson and like having a new team that they're supposed to be this bigger, stronger team. All right, what am I concerned about? Oh, LSU and Florida LSU and Florida. I would probably take the under on that, guys. I would. If I had a gun to my head, I'd probably take the under. And maybe for that reason take the over. I don't know. I would probably take the under. Maybe look at a first half under. It's really where I would go. I would like to see that first half under, right? Because then you could just get a second half that just is blowout. So last year, my very first pick was West Virginia and Pitt over, because I knew those two teams when they played each other, how they played each other. I knew that it was I had a feeling, I knew they would come out slow and it would be more of a second half game. That's exactly what it was last year, right? I had 17, 18 points if you go on Google and look at it. The over was dead. Guess what? It went over, right? Those are the spots you want to like. If things are going your way the whole game, you might want to be worried about your ticket. Right, you might want to be worried. So, I got scared the other day that Nebraska was going to blow it. I'm like, man, I don't like this. So, I'll take the first half under with Florida State LSU. We'll take LSU for the side, and as the full game total, I still got to go with the under. I want to see them play some conservative football. And control the clock, right? These two teams want to win this game, right? This is going to be a good game. So let's go back to Clemson. Clemson and Duke. Got a line here at 13. this here is on OddShark, and then if I go over to CBS, which I can actually take you guys to, let's go to scores week 1. So again, like see here, Florida State's +2, but then on OddShark they have it at like +1, +1.5. So all right, so let's go to Clemson and Duke. All right, 13. I'd like this number if it was 10. All right, I'd like this number if it was 10. Here's the thing: Clemson has to prove themselves, right? Duke isn't that great of a team, but they started off strong, like not strong last year, but they started off consistent, right? They were able to play. They're putting a team together there. So now again, when I do my next video, guys, I'm gonna have all of my stuff ready. I just wanted to come out and give you guys a couple thoughts on Clemson and Duke in this LSU game. So we have supposedly no injuries from either side of the field. There was actually some injuries, I thought, but I guess they've taken them down, or at least it was on another side of things. So Clemson is 17-3 straight up in their last 20 games. Clemson is 4-1 at the spread in their last 5 games against Duke. Clemson is 5-1 or 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games against Duke. Obviously, they're 16-4 straight up in their last 20 games on the road. 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games when playing on the road against Duke. 10-2 at the spread in their last 12 games against an opponent in the ACC. That's not too bad of a stat there. 10-2 at the spread against ACC opponents. The total has gone under in 5 of Clemson's last 6. Again, you have a new quarterback, you have a new scheme. I would not read anything into that. Clemson's 1-10 at the spread in their last 11 games played in September. 1-10 at the spread in their last 11 games played in September. That's ugly. That's ugly. Duke is 6-1 at the spread in their last 7 games. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. 5-1 at the spread in their last 6 games at home. 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games when playing at home against Clemson. 5-1 at the spread in their last 6 games against an opponent in the ACC. 2-4 straight up in their last 6 games against an opponent in the Atlantic Division. What the fuck is that? I don't even know what that is. ADD. The total has gone under in 6 of Duke's last 8 games played in week 1. So if we look here, the last time these two played each other, record is 9-1 against Duke. Clemson's record is 9-1 against Duke. So the last time they played one another, it was Clemson had home field 35-6. All right, the spread was 30. Damn, what a cover there, right? 5, no, yeah, it was 30. So, see, I'm nervous because I'm on the camera, but anyway, 208 rushing yards against Duke's 104 rushing yards. Pass attempts 39 for Clemson, 44 for Duke. Obviously, because we know since they've made that change, you guys saw how Clemson was, the past 2 years with their prior quarterback. They didn't pass it as much. They didn't, you could tell that their scores were, they're passing and their total yards, total points were down across the board. Completion rate 53, call it 54. It was 53.8 versus 54 for Duke. Passing yards 251 for Clemson, 158 for Duke, and 459 yards versus 262 yards Duke. So Clemson just about doubled the yardage. No turnovers in that game. This game, again, Duke has a ton of starters coming back. 9 on the offense, 8 on the defense. Um, so, total yards 403 again on Duke, or 403 total yards for Clemson, 342 yards for Duke, 130 rushing yards for Duke, 158 for Clemson, and then Clemson's passing 245 versus 212. So, the talent's going to be with Duke, or the talent's going to be with Clemson, right? The talent's going to be with Clemson. I feel like, being a first game, I'd like to see where this line goes. So, I like the over. I like the over 55.5, actually. That would be my top pick. My top pick would be Clemson Duke over 55.5. If this here is correct, all right, I'd watch the line movement. The line I thought was trying to come down. I want to go see the line movement real quick, and I'm going to wrap this up. Again, if you could like and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. I'm going to have some insights going throughout this week, and it's going to be a lot better, I promise. This was a little bit rushed. This is my first go around at doing this. Let me look at the line history. Let me bring up the line history for us real quick. I should just do this on the computer. Let's see here. So, line history. Wow, it opened at minus 11. It's cranked up. 11, 12, 13, 13 and a half, 13. So this line's done one thing but creep up. At what point does it come back down? At what point do they start trying to get some money on Duke? So, let me see here. So, again, I really like the over 55.5 for tomorrow. I don't think there's any weather issues. It should be pretty nice. 55.5, it is a little bit lower. Again, guys, this is the first game. These are the first games. You got to be patient with it. I know my camera's frozen. I'll get it here in a second. So I gotta redo it. So give me Clemson, right? Give me Clemson for this one. Let me take that back. Yeah, give me Clemson. I'm gonna take Clemson in this one. Again, I am not playing anything on this. Gamble responsibly. All right, gamble responsibly. I want to see, that change in Clemson. So I'm going to say Clemson because I want to see the change. There's a change that needs to happen because of the time that was wasted with that quarterback. And here we are, 14-3, San Jose State. Oregon State's a good team. So see if they have the weapons, see if they have the receivers, how Duke's defense holds up versus how Clemson's defense holds up. Again, I don't think Clemson is that, again, it's the first week. I don't think they're that great. They're going to come out, they're going to play ball. I mean, look what just happened to Boston. See, I can't even say that because you can say this and you can say that, but really these teams have different transfers and different things happen. Clemson lost to Boston College or didn't cover against Boston. They barely won against Boston College last year. I'm pretty sure it was last year. It was the year before. Right? They had trouble with Boston College. Look what just happened to Boston College this Saturday. Right? Does Duke have something cooking up for them? I just want to see Clemson come out and dominate. I'm going to take Clemson. All right? If this line starts changing back, I'm not playing these guys. This is why I'm not playing them. I have no skin in the game. So if I were to have to pick this game, I would have to play. I'd have to play the over. I'm going to play the over in this game. I'm going to leave the sides alone. If you want me to give you a side, I wouldn't take it higher than this, right? I think anything over 13 points is too many. Are they 2 touchdowns better? Yes, they absolutely could be 2 touchdowns better. They may win by 14 points, right? I can see that happen. I can see them winning by 14 points. Would I like it at not? Would I like it at 10? Yeah. Even then, I'd be like, So, um, maybe they're not giving Duke enough credit here. Again, Duke is at home field advantage. But I feel like these Clemson boys are going to come out, have something to prove. I'm gonna hit that total over. If I do end up playing this, I will come back out and comment down below in this live that I did take Clemson over. But we'll see if the number starts creeping down. We'll see what these numbers start to do as we get into tomorrow night. So thank you guys for joining us on this live stream. This was my first one. Again, expect a better one. We're going to get the stats. We're going to get some. We're going to put out the information that you need to know to be able to do this and do it profitably. Because I'm going to tell you right now, by week 5, we're going to get to the second week of October, and all you mother truckers are going to start losing money if you don't know some of these things. Once we start getting some of these numbers under our belt and a lot of the other things that we use, there's a reason why some people can actually make something of this, which I'm fortunate to be able to do it in my state. God forbid if I lived in a state where it was illegal, you know. I know I had a bottle of water here somewhere. I just had a Red Bull, but Clemson Duke, I like the over. If you force me to take a side, as much as I want to take Duke, I'm going to take Clemson. I'm going to take Clemson in this one and see if they can just, if let's see if he's put the athletes together to do what it takes, right? To bring that old Clemson football back. We're all still waiting for it. We just spent 2 years here wasted, right? With that quarterback, it just felt like it didn't bring it, right? Didn't get the team rallied up with him. And not to say he's not a great quarterback. He is a good quarterback. He's been good since he was in high school. I think he played in somewhere in California. He actually came out with someone else. There was another quarterback that he, got recruited with that they kind of. I think they didn't play together, but they played in the same area. Oregon State just ran it out for a decent run game there. So, yeah, that's that, guys. Clemson Duke. I like the over. We'll see if the. I feel like Duke's defense definitely should not. The Clemson should be able to make things happen on Duke's defense. Duke is also going to be able to make stuff happen against Clemson's offense. So take the over 55 if you want. Again, I have no skin in these games. For the spread, I will take. Duke's no pushover, but I will take Clemson. Anything over 14. Even anything over 13. Well, 13 is pretty much still the same as 13 and a half, right? I mean, it'd be pretty hard to push on a 13. It wouldn't be too hard to push, but I just feel like Clemson's not going to be kicking the ball, unless there's something I don't know, right? Duke has a lot of starters coming back. So next time I do this live stream, I'm going to have, for next week, week 2, I'm going to have some really good information for you guys. I'm going to have everything ready to go, written down. We're going to have the script and ready to go. I kind of just put this together to get a little bit of content out there. So it should be exciting. At least they're going to end the first week decent, right? Again, I kind of agree with Brandon from Barstool that, these week ones have been really weak, and I feel like they do that so these teams just get a feel of so they get out on the field and get a feel for playing in a real game and everything, and don't come right out to conference play. So I agree with both sides there. Dwayne Carter from Duke, defensive lineman, safety Brandon Johnson. They had 5.5 sacks last season. Fifth-year senior Jamal Franklin, who had 3 sacks, 5 pass breakups. Now it might be a little difficult to do that to Clemson, right? Maybe a little bit harder to do that against Clemson, but we'll see. So if anything changes, I'll come back on if I make a play. But for now, Clemson and Duke over. I would have to side with with Clemson there. Again, there's a lot of unknowns with Clemson. As much as I want to take Duke, because I know they're not going to be that much of a pushover. They've been doing a lot better. I just feel like Clemson needs to bring that football back, and they got to start day one. And I feel like they know it. So that's the live stream. If you guys could hit the like button, subscribe for more content. The next coming weeks, coming into October, I'm gonna have some good content for you guys. I'll give you guys my opinion on all these games. I have a newsletter that I'm putting together. If you want to work with me, my email is in the description. My Twitter is Ivy League Trades, twitter.com. Follow me there. If you guys could hit that like button. Thank you guys for joining us. Stay safe. Enjoy the games. Right? Pick your spots. I'll